Today we're diving into one of the shortest yet most explosive clips of the year. A few seconds from Disney Plus showing Jimin and Jungkook standing in the same frame. Just a brief moment, but enough to make the entire army freeze, lean closer and wonder. Why does the atmosphere feel different? Why do their expressions seem so serious? And the biggest question of all, why is the usual Jikook warmth nowhere to be seen? The moment this clip dropped, the fandom erupted. Timelines were instantly flooded with analysis, theories and endless debates. Once again, a tiny moment turned into a massive wave of conversation. And tonight we're breaking it down, how a few fleeting seconds managed to trigger emotions, reactions and a swirl of speculation across the fandom. Sometimes just a single glance or a momentary silence is enough to make ARMY, whether calm observers, critical thinkers or the infamous frame-by-frame analysts, sit upright and gasp. And as always, whenever Jimin and Jungkook appear together, even for a split second, there's an undeniable force that makes people stop and look closer. No matter how much time has passed or how busy their individual schedules become, every time Jimin and Jungkook stand side by side, something shifts. Subtle warmth, a soft aura, a quiet comfort that cannot be faked. They don't need to touch or exchange glances. Just being next to each other changes the atmosphere. That's why, when the Disney Plus clip appeared, the fandom practically screamed in unison, "They're finally in the same frame again." Relief washed over everyone. Nostalgia hit. The long wait was over. But along with that excitement came a new wave of curiosity. Why does it feel so different this time? Why do they look so solemn? Why isn't there even the smallest smile or familiar sideways glance? And so the theories began. The most popular theory was that they didn't actually film the clip together, that it was shot on different days and edited into a shared frame. It spread fast because of one thing. Something seemed missing from Jungkook. The natural, unintentional attention he usually gives Jimin. One of Jungkook's most well-known traits is the way he looks at Jimin. At concerts, during interviews, at dance practice, behind the scenes, on live broadcasts. Even when he's completely unaware of the cameras, his eyes always seem to drift toward Jimin. Not an intense stare but a quiet, instinctive pull. A reflex formed over years of being attuned to the presence of one particular person. So when that reflex suddenly disappeared, everyone noticed. Ironically, even haters pointed it out. People who normally deny Jikook interactions were the first to say, "Weird." Jungkook usually looks at Jimin. Then came theories about height differences and camera angles. Jungkook looking taller than usual, the framing being off, posture issues, shoes, lighting. But those theories faded quickly. None of them explained what people truly felt. Because what truly stood out wasn't the height. It was the vibe. The energy. The atmosphere. One of the reasons Jimin and Jungkook are so captivating is the subtle warmth that fills the space whenever they share it. Even in the most formal settings, something soft always emerges between them. A light touch, a synchronized breath, a reflexive glance, a gentle smile, a harmony in their movements that feels almost instinctual. Jungkook seems calmer when Jimin is near. Jimin appears more relaxed when Jungkook is close. They move like two magnets that have orbited each other for years. But in the Disney Plus video, that warmth wasn't there. No smile. No glance. No spontaneous interaction. Yet the absence of visible warmth doesn't mean the connection is gone. They're human. They can be tired, focused, directed. Official shoots often come with structure, scripts, and formality. Not everything is a hidden message. The truth is simple. Their history is far too deep to be erased by one short clip. Jikook wasn't built on big moments. Their bond grew through years of tiny, consistent gestures. Moments that happen too often, too naturally to be coincidences. Long glances. Smiles meant only for one another. Small habits Jungkook shows with no one else. The gentle way Jimin cares for Jungkook, warm and unforced. The way Jungkook reads Jimin's emotions even before Jimin speaks. After witnessing all that for a full decade, how could anyone look at one serious video and say, "Something's wrong"? Their connection was never defined by a single moment. It was built through countless ones. A 10-second clip cannot erase 10 years of history. Jikook has always carried a quiet, steady bond. Not through grand displays, but through thousands of subtle details only people who pay attention can notice. Their energy speaks even when they don't. And that doesn't vanish because of one serious clip. It doesn't disappear because they didn't smile. It doesn't evaporate because the vibe felt different. Connections like theirs don't grow overnight. They grow through years of being there for each other, supporting, understanding, and staying close through every high and low. So, does the video feel unusual? Maybe. But does it erase everything we've seen over the years? Absolutely not. People's understanding of Jikook was never built from one clip. It was built from a decade of consistency. And without real evidence that contradicts everything we've seen for 10 years, there's no reason to assume anything has changed. Because even if they didn't look at each other in this video, haven't their eyes spoken louder than words for the last decade? A few seconds of silence will never erase 10 years of warmth. In the end, after all the theories and speculation, one truth remains. The beauty of Jikook has always lived in the small things. Reflexive glances, quiet smiles, unspoken understanding, and a bond that grows deeper in the moments when no one is supposed to notice. One cold clip will never erase 10 warm years. Jikook wasn't built on one smile or one look. It was built on thousands of seconds we'll never forget. And maybe the Disney Plus clip feels different. Maybe we didn't see the usual warmth. But a connection that has grown for years does not disappear because of a single moment. If there's one thing that has always been true about Jimin and Jungkook, it's this. Their energy speaks, even when they don't. At the end of the day, this moment, this brief, silent, unusual clip, reminds us of something important. Relationships aren't defined by a single frame, a single mood, or a single day. What Jimin and Jungkook share has been shaped over years of growth, trust, comfort, and unspoken understanding. It has survived distance, pressure, schedules, and the eyes of millions. So if one video feels different, let it be just that. A moment. Because the story of Jikook has always been larger than any clip could ever capture. And as long as the years they've shared continue to speak louder than the seconds we see, one thing will always remain true. Some bonds don't fade. They simply wait for their next moment to shine.